live today from the Alexander Wilderness Park in Lethbridge. I tried to get up here. I want to start things at that viewpoint, you know, and so I tried to get up here right for 7 o'clock, but kind of missed the boat. It's a cold wind this morning, but it is above zero temperatures. It's about 3 degrees. This deer is like, his issue over there. Yeah, Alexander Wilderness Park for this morning's walk. I'd really like to go to Cottonwood Park, but the signal is not strong enough there. I don't think we could stream a walk there. So, how are you guys? See, there's about 6 heads here. I got a pretty good night's sleep, feeling good, no symptoms, surviving the plague. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at around me here. This is old mining area. Looks like somebody there is probably having a shovel or something. But yeah, I think this is old mining. I think this whole area of what they call the Alexander Wilderness Park here in Lethbridge was probably once a big gravel pit, something like that. But it's neat to see the plants and animals kind of reclaim that. So yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream a live walk this morning after yesterday's events. I had some critics of my morning walk who were accusing me of violating the self-isolation restrictions, and so it kind of like, I don't know, they were calling police, they were calling the city. I think I'm a city employee, which I'm not. They were calling the news media, local news media. But all in all, through investigation, i.e. going to the website that we're supposed to go to look at the most up-to-date information on the restrictions and what to do if you're feeling sick and all that, you go there and it says I can go for a walk. So I'm exercising that allowance. Good morning, you guys. It's a bit windy today, so I don't know how the sound is going to be. Another experiment in that regard. This is more like a typical level of wind. Ready for the rattlesnakes? Me too. Michael's ready for the rattlesnakes. Yeah, me too. This is going to be a different year, snake-wise, though. I have to sit down with the regulatory services at the city because we do need some different protocols going into this season. You know, in light of the current situation. So I don't think, for instance, I don't think that they're going to have me bother with picking up snakes that are in the parks, you know, the neighborhood parks and stuff, because parks are closed. So I think they're going to have me talk people through certain situations this season. And then, of course, you know, if a snake's in your yard or on your street, I'm going to come get it. But we have a while to wait yet before the snakes, and there's lots that's going to happen between now and then out here. You know, snakes wake up with the frogs next lunar cycle, and the turtles. I know when I see the turtles at Spopikimi, that means the rattlesnakes are out. Actually, you know what is my number one phenological indicator for rattlesnakes? It is when the older guys with the motorcycles in their garage, when they get those babies out and on the road, and you start seeing them around town, then it's warm enough for rattlesnakes. Gonna go down here and look at the rapids, look at the river. When I was walking in this morning, I saw there was a hawk that passed overhead. I think it was likely a red tail. So this is an area with a lot of beaver activity. And the only kind of area, well, not necessarily, I guess in Popson Park there's a little bit of what you might call rapids on the river, but when you get, for instance, there's some duck species that really enjoy the environment of rapids. Whenever we get any of those kind of animals around here, this is where you'll spot them. See the difference here if you've been following the channel over the winter. You know, where's all the waterfowl that were congregated at this site? Everybody's out nesting now. Although we'll wait to see what's on the other side. This park is kind of a big peninsula, a big bend in the river, and a lot of times if you don't have waterfowl here at the rapids area, you'll have them on the other side of the bend. I'll show you some of the things that I noticed. I'll find some examples as we go. Well, this is one right here. You know, you can. Why do we never see anyone fishing? Bob, to tell you the truth, there's not that many opportunities to catch fish in this river. Right around end of April, there's a run of whitefish that come up the river, and but then at that time fishing is restricted. It really kind of opens up with sturgeon season here, and so it's a catch and release for sure. We will see some people fishing sturgeon, I think right off this point where I'm at, you know, this is a little kind of area where the river, after the rapids, there is a little bit of back current, and we get sturgeon in here. So there will be guys working with those, but they're catch and release. But we will see them fishing. And then for the rest of the year, I mean, at least in the stretch of the river that's around Lethbridge here, I think, you know, most of the guys only might catch pike, like northern pike in there. And it's a lot easier if you're looking for pike. There's a lot easier places to catch them than on the river. So that's why you don't see too many people fishing here. You know, see probably more ice fishers than anything else. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, we were looking at some of these, right? So what's happened here is a deer has come along and ate the budding tip off of this cottonwood or poplar sapling, and they get the ones that they can reach. The ones that they can't reach are going to leaf out and such. So yeah, so if you look around closely, you'll see that on almost all of these saplings and stuff, the budding tips are nipped off if they are close enough for the deer to reach. So I imagine that would cause an issue if you were a sapling that was, you know, so young that the deer would nip off all of your budding tips, right? So deer are participating probably in the architecture of this forest. Now, what are the other things? I'm looking for an example of. We'll find it along the way. I want to show you the porcupine participation. This is all in this stretch young forest, but right behind it in this direction that we're looking is the oldest section of forest down here, and we'll go check that out. Oh, I should take you first, and let's see. The deer eat nearly everything in my yard to the ground: roses, azaleas, flowers, etc. It's one of the comments I'm getting. Yeah, deer visit our yard as well, but they don't seem to interested in anything but our crab apples. You must have the most tasty yard. Yeah, I'll show you this. I don't know if those of you that follow the channel, if you remember earlier in winter, there was a fella out here kind of getting started building a little log cabin structure along the edge of the river. Well, he has progressed in that effort, and I want to show you what it looks like today. I don't know if you guys can hear, there's off in the distance upriver, there's a raven. Oh, see, there he is. Raven. Geese. Pair of them. I don't know if I can get the mate in there. There's the mate. Yeah. Pair of raven. beaver have been really working this bank last couple of years. Of course, I've only really been watching this place with any closeness this year, as Chelsea and I moved to the north side of town. But I'm beginning to enjoy this park. You know, for me, I like to get myself really familiar with a place. So I know what all is going on down here, you know, what to check in. So you got one, well, no, more than one. Got a few geese out here. I wouldn't be surprised if these are couples that are going to nest on this river island here. Yeah, we're coming up to the cabin. Oh, almost fell on my face. Stick grabbed me. That would have been fun. Yeah, this guy pretty much just collected a bunch of the beaver cut logs and has made a little shelter over here, a little box. So he says, "Glad I made it back. Stay safe." Yes, sir. I am doing just that. Staying away from humans. Yeah, that was a close call. Oh, hey, Ange. Yeah, that was a close call. That was crazy. It's got a little fireplace in here. Yeah, if he fortifies these walls a little bit better, it'll be quite a nice little shelter for a brief while before the river reclaims it. These areas are always good to look, you know, as the thaw occurs and the cut banks kind of slew off like this. It can expose lots of good roots and stuff. All right, now let's go into the big trees. Oh, what do we got here? I don't know, for some reason it's not focusing. I think we had a hawk lookout. Check out what we're up to. So I know in past years there's been owl nests in this forest, but I have not succeeded in locating a nest for this season. Fortunately, I have online phenology students who have owl nests at their sites locally that have been able to keep me like abreast of the development, because I use the owls as one of the important indicators in my kind of tracking the lunar cycles of the year. I just seen a hawk Do another kind of flyby out there, right in the distance. Look at that. Starlings. The hawks around. Salt chokecherry here. One of the easy ways of identifying chokecherry stands, you know, in southern Alberta at least, is they've usually got this black knot fungus growing on them. Yeah, chokecherry, buckkeepist. Hawk is still watching. He's just hanging out up here. I don't know if I'm his main subject, but he's definitely passing by to have looks at me now and then. Just over here is the deer blind. I'm not going to go in there because I don't even want to attempt touching anything that might be considered rail-like. People are pretty crazy. Yeah, if you're in the wilderness park here, this is a good little nook. I can get in there without touching anything. Looks like some of it has been busting up though. Some fallen bits. Yeah, it's a good little blind for watching deer behavior, as I've done on some of my visits here over the winter. All right, let's go back out. Just looking at the treetops here for the limbs and the places where the branches connect for any sign of owl. Haven't seen any owls here since the one family was teaching its juvenile, probably late June. It's the last time I seen them in the park. Is there geese fighting in the forest here somewhere? Oh, I think there is. I think we're gonna see something awkward here. So there's a pair of geese who are, looks like they've claimed this stump. Like that. This is standing up on top of that stump. Can you see them there? They do nest on tree stumps. Those are good enough as islands for the geese. Not usually this far from the water though. I'm gonna get a better look here in a moment, but I want to keep my distance from them so I don't make them fly off. They're just over here behind these trees. Yeah, I found many goose nests in tree stumps like that, but not usually this far in. Okay, here's an example of what I wanted to show with the porcupine. Right, some of the trees that fell during the storms early in the winter, rather than, you know, climbing up and eating the flesh of these trees that are right next to it, the porcupine was willing to remain vulnerable near the ground and eat the one that was already fallen, you know. And it seems to me like a conscious choice, because I see it all over. He's selecting the fallen ones instead of taking out live ones, because, you know, if there's freshly fallen ones available, why not? The only reason why not that I can see is that it means he'll have to hang out on the ground and be more vulnerable to predators. But for whatever reason, he's willing to make that trade-off, and it's probably an ecologically sound one. Okay. All right, let's get back to the geese. Here's a good view of our goose couple. That's not them honking, that's the other. Now they're getting upset. Gander standing tall. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether they actually select that tree as their nest site. Hey, Brian from Scotland. Yeah, I'm glad I made it back out too. It was looking kind of grim yesterday for a little while. I thought I was going to be disallowed from walking out in the coulees here, but turns out I am allowed to. I am not breaking the restrictions. So as long as I maintain physical distance. I seen somebody on Facebook or something. They took off those two that were up there. They got bothered by some other geese and they took off after them. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I seen somebody on Facebook comment, rightly so, what is this about social distancing? It's not social distancing that we want, it's physical distancing, right? Let's let's try to be as close as we can socially while maintaining a physical distance that's safe, right? So as long as I maintain a physical distance that's safe, that I give anybody out here wide berth. I'm not out here to hang around with people. you know. And as long as I don't touch any rails, benches, you know, anything that's likely to be touched by anybody else, as long as I don't have any symptoms and feeling sick, good to go. You got your antivirus on? So what are you guys using in Scotland? What's the protocols in Scotland? Are you on total lockdown? Do you got to stay home? Do you get to go outside? Do you get to go around town? I saw somewhere, on Harold Balder's channel on YouTube, he's in Sri Lanka, and there you have something like 6 hours. You're allowed to go out into town for 6 hours a week, something like that. You guys who are from other parts of the world than North America, what are you guys doing? Guess we're gonna come across a goose scene over here. All the territorial squabblings and such. Early nesting season. These guys will be dropping eggs definitely within 2 weeks, probably sooner. They'll be looking at places. They like to nest in islands, the geese, because they're so conspicuous. Their body shape and everything. They're tundra birds. You know, they're made to be in a kind of a short grass environment so that they can look around and see their predators coming. That's what their body design is, and they're much like bovines in terms of their diet. They're eating grass and grain, and they've got multi-chambered stomachs and all that stuff. Okay, I'm a food delivery driver. No lockdowns in my state. No one would follow it anyways. Hell, they don't social distance from one another. This is a message from Anna B. So, probably, I don't know, should I ask what state? So people are not doing anything different than they normally do, and you're in the United States somewhere? Wait and see what the response is. Ah, back, Scotland. Oh no, that's Ange commenting. They avoid me because we're a N95 mask. You're in Iowa. All right. So what is it, like people that are too cool to? I'm surprised to hear this coming from the States, but I guess I don't really know what the heck is going on in the States. I know in Alberta here, it's being taken pretty seriously. I caught a lot of flack yesterday for recording my morning walk. Okay, let's see. Only owl nest I think I seen was, where's Ange's thing? Top chat. Only owl nest I think I seen was highest elevation at Sharon Park, which is odd. I thought, I don't know where that, you mean at Nicholas Sharon, the hill up there. Pair of falcons perched right at Burnco highway lights, FYI. How's the sound with the wind, by the way? It's another experiment day. Doesn't sound like I'm going to be able to do live classes with the students. Let's see, they are seeing it as a mini vacation here. So they're just using it as time off, but not really following any safety protocol. Yeah, here everybody is really in the program. Go live more often. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. That is beautiful. I plan on taking my daughter. Whoop. Oh. Oh, good, I'm still live. No. I hope it just didn't do what it... No, I wasn't trying to hide. Hold on. It looks like it's hiding. It's gonna hide Anna B's thing, Anna B's comments now. I don't know why. I hit something trying to move around in here, and it's telling me that I've hidden her comments. Hope she's still able to comment. I didn't mean to. I don't know what that's about. And doesn't seem to give me an option to go back, rescind that. Not that I would actually know how. Yeah, Ange, I'm thinking about going live on these kind of walks more often. My Dawn Patrol. In fact, I've already made a new Dawn Patrol playlist on my channel to nest these live early morning walks in. Anna, even bad, Brian comments. Yeah, sorry. For whatever reason, you're blocked now. Just scared off a couple of whitetail. Yeah, this park has a lot of white-tailed deer, and a lot of good habitat for them in terms of like thick brush and stuff like that. Which also makes this park, out of any in Lethbridge, I would think, potential habitat for cougars and such, wild cats. Not much for snake encounters in this park ever. I mean, they occur, but probably the snake populations that were here were decimated by the gravel pit a little island out on the river that is accessible right now because the water's low. I'm gonna go out there and find myself one of my black rocks. Not gonna touch the bench. Let's go down to the river shore. Still waiting to hear how, like, what is the lockdown like in Scotland? Poor Anna. I'm gonna have to figure out what happened there and try to make sure it doesn't happen again. Yeah, it doesn't sound like they're going to have me do live sessions with the students who are going to be missing their usual tours with me this next month. But same stuff as we have. Scotland has, eh? Same restrictions. Yeah, they're not going to have me doing those classes with the students, but they are going to have me make some videos, some short videos for part of the ecological curriculum that they're getting. So I've got a little bit to work on in that regard. Fish go, this seems to be a popular cut bank. Somebody was asking about fishing earlier, and all along that opposite side of the river there, that cut bank, I sometimes will find guys on boats hanging out there fishing, but more often you'll see eagles and such, kingfishers and all the fish eaters. Oh, that's a bright sun. Police will find you found in groups. This is from Scotland. Yeah, I talked to a friend of mine who's an RCMP, like you know, trying to find out, am I breaking any rules by being outside here in these parks? And somebody had basically threatened me and said, you know, it's not the Lethbridge, because Lethbridge police had been received some complaints about me yesterday, and the city and the local media, you know, and they all have respect for me, so they asked me, you know, what are you doing? And I directed them to the alberta.ca /COVID-19 website that you're supposed to go to for information on protocols and restrictions and such, self-isolation. And right in there, it's pretty clear that I'm allowed to go for a walk. And then still somebody said, well, it's a federal thing, right? So it's not the Lethbridge police that are going to get on your case. It's going to be the RCMP. Now I got friends in the RCMP, so I called my friend. I said, am I going to get in trouble for doing this? And he said, you know, we haven't been told as such yet, but the groups thing is serious. You know, there's a limitation. I think groups of up to, I think you can have 15 people, which I feel is kind of a lot, you know. Well, who is that? Killdeer. See him? Am I getting him? It's the first one I've seen this season. We've heard him several times, but the wind is harsh, and she says, I am not surprised. Can't really focus the camera in the direction I'm going because it's right toward the sun. But yeah, so he told me, my friend in RCMP told me what they're really concerned with at this time is groups. And, you know, if there's any cracking down, it's mainly going to be on people that are violating the restrictions on group size. So he didn't think it was a problem what I'm doing. Walking out here where there's 0 people. I'm gonna change the camera around again. Hold on. Get it off of my squinting face. Let you see the sun. See if we can focus on the ground a little bit. Trying to get over to this island. Oh, but the water has raised in the past couple days. Chelsea and I came out here 2 days ago. Just walk out. Now there's just a little stream. Not that it's impassable. Maybe I'll take off my shoes. Ryan slipped. Please continue to come on the walks. Oh, and she's worried we're going to lose Anna B because of my slip up. It was all in innocence. Let's hike these up. Yeah, it's windy again. It's Lethbridge. There goes my coffee. All right. Go find one of the black rocks. These are can right click her name and unhide her, but it all restarts on the next upload. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the restart because I don't want to mess anything else up. The toe injury from Costa Rica has healed. It must have just been some, you know, deep bruising and such. Yeah, it's not bugging me anymore. There's still, I think, a little bit of look at the toe, the middle toe. It's a little bit pinker on the end than the others. But yeah, it's all good. So the river is raising, and that of course has to do with the above zero temperatures. So we're getting some melt, and the river is just going to keep raising for a bit here. Ooh. Pretty cold on the toes. Killed deer. Winging around. A couple of them. In search of the black rock. Yeah, this particular kind of rock comes from the mountains up here. And it's very, very hard, such that even when you heat it to crazy temperatures, it doesn't fragment and crack typically. Not that you never have that happen, but it's not often. So I don't know, I started making it a thing that when I come to the river, I pick one up and I bring it back and I add it to a pile outside of my front door. This is one of them, the black rock with the white specks. First got introduced to them in the context of sweats, because they're a good rock that doesn't break, and black is significant in Blackfoot color code culture, you know. So there was a certain red rock that I would collect as well sometimes, but the black rock, this one is the one that's really, really durable. And I'm thinking about experimenting and trying some of these smaller ones that I pick up. Try heating them up, fires in the backyard, and using them to boil food, because I'm pretty sure it'll give the food a different taste, you know, a little bit of that volcano flavor that rocks carry. And I wonder if we're supposed to get a little bit of that, you know, because it's certainly a part of our long time experience to cook with rocks like that. Just a little project I have in mind. Ooh. Cold on the toes. This water, this time of year. Barely not ice. Chelsea and I are going to be trying to keep our diet really clean and such over the next 4 days or more. Just kind of give ourselves a little immuno boost. Might as well, while we're in isolation, get our systems clean as we can. If this thing is nearly as brutal as they seem to be saying it will be. 14 days is just 14 days, but then what? You go back out among the humans and catch this thing? I don't know about that. Yeah, we're gonna take our precautions. Feel pretty safe out here. Don't think I'm gonna come in contact with the virus in this area. Try to get out of the bright sun. When do snakes come out? Is it snake free? The west side coulee still? Uh-oh. Chat. Want to take the kiddo out to run free. Yeah, you're not in any danger of running into snakes right now. The cold that we're having is still pretty intolerable for them. So I don't expect to see snakes out for another month yet, unless things get really unseasonably warm. I spoke about it earlier in the walk, but there are a couple of indicators that I know if I see that going on, then it's warm enough for snakes to be out. And one of those is when the turtles come up at the pond. If I start seeing turtles, then I know if I go check the snake dens, they'll be out. The other one is the the other indicator is the old men with the motorcycles in their garages. when they bust those motorcycles out again and start driving around the neighborhood with them, running out to Safeway on an errand, get all leather jacketed up and all that. When you see that happening, chances are snakes are out. Yeah. The old motorcycle guys and the rattlesnakes have the same seasonality. Can dogs go to Restaurant Cathedral, or is it through nature area? I believe you can bring dogs there, pretty sure you can bring dogs there on leash. Okay, it's not an off-leash area, but most people that I see, like going down the coulee trail, say just north of Whoop Up Drive, if you parked in that parking lot up there and walk down that trail, you can bring your dog down that trail, and most people don't use a leash when they do it, because it's just like, you don't encounter very many people, and if you do, you usually can see them coming from far away. And then you can go through the, under Whoop Up Drive, either through the tunnel or down at the bridge itself. And yeah, I don't think you'll have any problem with the dogs Now, if you started from the university or something, they might not be cool with it. I don't know. You can also park at Fort Whoop-Up and walk across the bridge and access it that way. But my favorite trail would be that one where you park just north of the bridge on the west side and hike down into the coulee from that direction. Yeah, Rust Rock is pretty interesting right now. Thank you for staying at a B. Hang in there. I figure that. And just how far is it from there? You're probably looking round trip at walking 6 kilometers, maybe 7. No, probably not 7. Probably 6 kilometer walk. Have you guys been able to talk to the kids since you've been back? Yeah, we're able to talk to them every day, just on like FaceTime and stuff. So they see us in live video, but of course we're not actually making any physical contact. So yeah, we got daily contact with the kids. It's gonna be wild when they're able to come home. It's been a long time now. This area looks like nowhere else in the coulees. I think because it was once pretty disturbed. Gravel pit area, but it kind of makes for a kind of little bit of a savanna in the middle of the river bottom forest here now. Try to get you guys into some shadow so that it's not as bright. Yeah, look at this old pit here. Yeah, no, the kids are going to be pretty happy when it's all over. You know, unfortunately for Chelsea, she'll be expected to go back to work right away too. So I'm going to be the one home with the kids most of the time for the next little bit. There's no schools, no daycare, all that jazz. Probably they'll be joining me in my dawn patrol. Almost out of the sun. There we go. Social distancing with kids is not always fun. Watching Netflix for 10 hours a day. Yeah. We'll see how all that goes. It's gonna be daddy daycare for a while. Some deer up here. White tails. we're almost done with our walk here this morning, because when I actually head up into the coulee toward the vehicle, I'm gonna lose signal. But I was thinking I just wanted to do maybe an hour or so this morning anyway, so we're at 66 minutes. Yeah, all back in here there's a lot of good chokecherry brush, and there's just herds of whitetail in there. Yeah, maybe tomorrow morning I will go walk that trail that I'm talking about to Rust Rock Cathedral. We could do that for tomorrow morning. Yep, Ange, I know where you're at. This little one got separated. Not smart to get separated. There's the family. The herd. Some of them are staying back in the bush. Really checked on what the deer are eating the last little while. They made a lot of use of those fallen leaves this winter, the green fallen leaves from the weird early ice that we had. That just froze everything, and there's a hawk up here too. Perhaps the same one that's been keeping an eye. Yeah, new buds are actually on the trees right from the beginning of winter, Brian, but as things kind of thaw, they definitely get, the buds get more kind of life in them, and they become very vivid on the trees. Yeah, Rust Rock is closer to the university. It is. Somebody asking about how to get to Rust Rock Cathedral. Yeah, so it's on the south side of Whoop-Up Bridge, kind of northeast of the university on the river bottom. We'll go there tomorrow morning on live video. But if you're going there today, yeah, that's where you find it. All right, Darren. I'm gonna head out to move on to the vehicle and call it a dawn patrol done. Yeah, I think for the next few mornings and such, I'll just continue this practice, do some live walks, and whoever joins me, joins me. Yeah, take care, you guys. Stay safe. Keramatsin po.